The Gambia Red Cross Society, through funding from the International Federation of Red Cross and the Red Crescent Societies, has today launched an unconditional cash transfer of $6.4 million to vulnerable families across the country. Farmer Abaji reports on the ceremony that is set to benefit 2,000 families across the country.
As part of its mandate to provide humanitarian assistance and alleviate human suffering, the Gambia Red Cross Society is supporting vulnerable households in the form of unconditional cash to families whose livelihood has been affected by the coronavirus pandemic. GRCS said they have conducted the identification and registration of beneficiary families across the country. 2,000 families will be supported with these unconditional funds, with each receiving $3,200. Over 700 families has been identified in the North Bank region alone, which is the highest. Alhassan Senghor, Secretary General of the Gambia Red Cross Society, explained the criteria used in identifying the beneficiaries.
We had identified some critical vulnerable groups, including families that have businesses affected by the state of emergency and the restrictions, persons depending on labor, on a daily labor for their livelihoods, women or female-headed households, vulnerable households with limited income, refugees, migrants, and asylum seekers or stateless persons. Differently abled household heads who depend on daily charities, asking for charities. Households headed by people with chronic illnesses, households affected by past floods and windstorms during the year, during the COVID-19, households affected by fire outbreaks during the COVID, and then household heads living with HIV/AIDS or other chronic illnesses.
For the beneficiaries across the country to have easy access, the funds will be paid through support partners like AfriMoney. Jamal Bensouda, the operations manager of AfriMoney, assured GRCS of their continuous support and cooperation.
We have already have the funds in our account, and we have verified we are with our bank. As we speak, we are ready to disperse these payments to the beneficiaries. Once we disperse these payments to the beneficiaries, we will also send them a text message letting them know exactly the amount that they are receiving, as well as where it's coming from, which is the Red Cross as well as your partner donors.
Abdullah Fay, the Gambia Red Cross Society Director of Programs and Operations, reflected on their efforts in COVID-19 response.
We have also been doing risk communication and community engagement, because we believe that it is important for people to be aware of COVID-19, but also to know what are the preventive measures that they need to take. And now we are strengthening more on community engagement, because this is all about behavior and attitude towards the prevention of COVID-19 at all levels.
In a related development, the Gambia-Malaysia Scholars Association donated $30,000 worth of sanitary items to the Gambia Prison Service for the provision of basic sanitary to the inmates. The association also presented $70,000 in cash to the Gambia Red Cross Society to empower their response measures. Farmer Abaji, GRTS News.